Welcome to Lucas Oil on the Edge. This week coming to you from Route 66 Raceway in Joliet, Illinois for the second round of the Team Demolition Derby competition. Junkyard Dogs taking the first round, and you can see the thousands of people out there tailgating, hoping they make it 2 in a row. But before you get the idea that some of these crazies are out there partying before the green flag drops, think again. Breathalyzers, tech inspectors, and the highest security that even rivals NASCAR. Coming up on the Edge.
Got it tacked up, and if you get too close, you're getting cracked up. Stone cold when I roll, coming out of the hole. Get back, cause I'm out of control.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Route 66 in Joliet, Illinois for the Lucas Oil on the Edge Team Demolition. Ken Stout, Brian Olson bringing you all the action, and we heard it from Lug Nuts a little bit earlier. They do have to go through tech. There's a lot happening with these cars. And these guys are serious, man.
They really are. And these things are a lot more modified than a standard.
A little touch maybe, but serious.
They might have baby doll heads on them. But I'll tell you what, with names like Damage Inc. and Killer Bees. Oh
the
boy.
Defending champions, by the way.
They're serious, man.
We have a whole field, of course. Stranglehold will also be out here as they try to get back to the top of this Team Demolition. And how about these guys, the Orange Taxi Company?
Yeah, they're kind of the new kids on the block, and they'll also get tied up with the pink bunch called Havoc.
Now the Junkyard Dogs, we heard them from Lug Nuts a little bit earlier, won the first round. And then these guys, beyond driven, they were right there and a very tough team to fight with.
Mean Green, another tough group to deal with. And I'll tell you what, there's 8 great teams, but only one's going to come out the winner.
We'll start things off here, round 1 action. The Orange Taxi Company will line up next to the defending champions from a year ago.
And not only the event champions, but the world champions for this series. And I think, Ken, as I recall, it goes 8 or 9 races overall right here at Joliet.
And of course, we need to talk about what happens here. There's a couple of different players for each team. There's runners, there's blockers, and there's crushers. And of course, the runners want to complete, ouch, they want to complete 5 laps because the first ones to complete 5 laps will get the win and the right to go to the next round.
So it's the idea to get runners out front, generally only one. The crushers and the blockers do like that right there. They've got to do whatever they got to do. Is once again, we recap round number 1. And our first group of cars with 8 different drivers, 4 for each team here.
Robbie Stahulik in the 77, the 06, Jimmy the Jackhammer Jackson. And he's going to come around here and pick up another lap. No, just clipped the back of the 74 car of Speedy Steve Bolbreth.
And to reiterate on how it works, first team to 5 laps as Speedy Steve makes another lap, and he's one of the very few cars. He's the only car, I think, with a sunroof.
You know, it is muddy out here, but it's not as muddy as we typically see it. And these guys come out here with some big horses. Oh, man! Talk about a hard hit as Stahulik lays the wood on him.
There's a final lap now. We can watch that 71 come around as he'll get himself into a lot of mushy stuff right here. They've wetted the track down, trying to slow the cars down just a little bit because you can already see that the hits have been quite massive here so far today.
77 still trying to block for his runner right there, and looks like he's not going to have anything in his way to complete this final lap. Tim Sloan collecting the checkered flag, the end of the race here in round number 1. The Killer Bees will eliminate the Orange Taxi Company. And there's one just for good measure. Good times. Let's go down and talk to him.
I don't know why he did it.
It was an intense race. The new team out there gave us a pretty good run. You know, I usually run laps out there. I had a hard time this time. Turn around, try to crush. It worked out. I'd like to thank Pfeiffer's Towing and Adams A1 Engines for all their help, and we're going to the next round.
All right, the next round will be the Junkyard Dogs against Stranglehold. This should be a great battle as well. The Junkyard Dogs with newfound life now that they've picked up a win in the first outing of this season. These guys will be tough, as will Stranglehold there in the white and blue.
Yeah, Stranglehold has been one of the better teams, and they call them the scrappiest ones, and they've also won the championship in 2005. Wayne and Mel Noble own these machines, and they got the, oh, this is
look
gonna be
out!
bad.
Oh, yeah!
One thing you got to say about the Van Allen boys, very little scares these bugs.
Yeah, look at those seatbelts doing a great job there, man.
It snapped right off.
He needs to go for a flight somewhere to show him how to operate those seatbelts. You know, they go through that little dance every time you take a flight somewhere.
Oh, man. Zach, Trey, Jay, and Josh are the Van Allen brothers that drive for Wayne and Mel Noble.
These guys really aren't too worried about safety. You know, I mean, you climb inside of one of these things, you're really not worried about getting hurt. You just really angry at the rest of the world.
Like I say, if you really want to knock some frustration off, this is a great opportunity right here. Junkyard Dogs look real good. They got two runners actually out in front of the pack.
And the 03 right there, he couldn't get it turned. He saw a car coming at him. He was like, okay, well, I'll just hit this one.
Oh, here comes the big kahuna Vanderbilt. Garrett, who always does a great job, and he will take the win right here in race number 2. Great job right there. Made it look easy.
The Junkyard Dogs will go to the next round.
Our cars are awesome. They've been running perfect. We've done a lot of work to them this week, and we just wanted to come out and win it for a little fellow that passed away on our team, 3 years old, and we're taking it tonight again.
Well, that is great motivation. As you can see, things don't always go smoothly out here.
That's that Van Allen bunch right there.
Oh, yeah. Won't take them long, man. They'll pick up the action here. Careful, man. This On the Edge telecast is brought to you by Lucas Oil Products. Made in America, sold to the world. Herculiner Truck Bed Liners. When the tough come easy. And by General Tire. When we left you, there was a lot of action on the track, and this is the result. We heard Lugnut say that there was a lot of security here, and as you can see, the security is actively working.
Well, the Van Allen guys, I just don't think they were happy with going down to defeat for whatever reason.
All right, next up, Havoc and Mean Green Machine will go at it. Havoc in the pink cars and the Mean Green Machines, obviously, in green.
And the Team Havoc gang has never won a national title, but have finished second on a couple of occasions. Team Mean Green, well, they started way back in 1968, so they're kind of making a comeback. Oh, some big hit right there.
Yeah, that was back at the old Santa Fe Speedway when Team Demolition got its start, and people have been following this ever since.
Yeah, the big Mean Green Machine team has actually got more of these races under the belt than any other team. However, they're making a comeback here. Jason Rotten right there with some problems. Now we follow the number 11 machine of Rick King as he gets him up by Steve Gursky Jr.
Yeah, you mentioned it before, the Mean Green Machine with 7 championships out there in Santa Fe, and that's why right there. Except they were handing them out instead of receiving.
Oh, man! That driver goes clear out the right. Did you see that?
The good thing it was a big car. He'd have been outside. I mean, it's dangerous out there. It truly is. It is not a game for the faint of heart. It is difficult. And it looks like Team Havoc with 3 running cars, a Mean Green Machine with no running cars. So they're going to cruise to a win here.
Wow, that is unbelievable. They just absolutely crushed him right there and made that baby look easy, to say the least.
Jason Rotten was in the 47 to 43. Steve Gursky Jr. and your winner, Team Havoc. Let's go down and talk to him.
We had to do a lot of damage out there, a lot of damage. I owe it to these guys for making the laps. We can't do it by ourselves, we have to do it as a team. We did better. We did a lot better than last time. We're coming out to win this one tonight.
Wow, he's ready to go.
Yes, he is. Damage Inc. and Beyond Driven. And This will be a great one as well. Beyond Driven with some of the biggest hits of all time at the last event. And one of them, like driver number 22 and Joe Snow. You always have to keep your eyes on him.
Yeah, you got to watch for Joe. He's one of the fastest, and early on especially. Now you can tell right now that this group from Damage Inc. has got a game plan, and part of it may be inclusive in trying to hurt 22, and that 8 just got away from him right there.
Well, that was a great move. I mean, he dodged a couple of tough hits, but they're coming right back. And that's exactly what Joe Snow will do to you. That is vintage Joe Snow.
That's what he does. He's like, take that. Oh, man, that is unbelievable.
And that car's in great shape, so Joe Snow's nowhere near done, I promise you that. There's Fireball Letter. Phil Fireball Letter. How about that, huh?
Unbelievable. Fireball out there.
Oh! There's our buddy.
Who else?
Look at the back of that car.
He knocked that baby at Billy Graham. Oh, Billy Graham took a day off from his church sermon, and here he is on the demo track.
Holy smokes,
They
the
near
whole
cut
back
that car
half of the
down.
chance he was bent.
Oh,
Final lap here as Beyond Driven is trying to hang on. That's John Clement in the 20 car trying to get the checkered flag.
He near cut that car in half, I'm telling you the truth.
Knocked the rear wheel completely off of
That's
it.
Phil Johnson, white flag this time by. So I tell you what, it's anybody's race here so far.
Looks like the Damage Inc. car of Phil Johnson, number 80, is still running, but that's about it.
I don't know. There's there's the 20. Where's that 22 at?
Right there. Yeah, that one's done. He gets the good out of him pretty much every time. Oh, that big old tractor tire checked him up, and he got back around. It slows him down, but he isn't going to stop.
I believe these two cars are still on the same lap, are they not? The 80 of Phil and the 22, or the 20 rather, of John Clement.
John Clement on that final lap did not want to cut the course there, so it backs it up. Needs to get to the left side of that tractor tire, and his buddy trying to help him out. That's Greg Message, the team owner and captain.
And that's the key to the whole deal, and I think that may have been what hurt Phil Johnson in that 80. He went inside that tire. There's only a couple rules, and one of them is you got to be outside the tires to be considered a full lap. Indeed, it's the end of the race and the checkered, and just in the nick of time right there for that car.
Yeah, that right front heavily damaged, so he was having a difficult time driving it, steering it, I should say, but they got him completed. All right, stay with us. When we come back, we're going to continue on here with Team Demolition. Standing capacity only here at Route 66 in Joliet, Illinois for the Team Demolition. And we're down to the semifinals. It's the final 4 teams, and this one will feature the Junkyard Dogs against the Killer Bees. We saw this as a final last time we were here.
And once again, you saw a couple of cars, some of those blockers and crushers, make their way backwards so as to make their way across the racetrack, trying to knock these cars out. And one of the best to making his way around is Garrett, the big kahuna, Vanderbilt, and he's got the lead right here, Ken.
And these guys are motivated. We heard them say before that one of the little guys from their team unfortunately passed away, so they have a mission here. They want to bring him home a win.
Brian Anderson, the Killer Bees, he'll play chase. He appears to be the runner. And the key right here, though, is for the crushers or the blockers, like that 74, to get him stopped. Oh, great move right there as he gets bottled up and hits reverse.
Working the throttle. Man, I'm telling you what, that thing is flying. He is carrying some speed around there. Trying to stay out of the 71. That didn't work out so good.
Man, listen to the power these things are making. I mean, these things are way farther than stock. I mean, that's the new deal now. I mean, nothing like I said, your little arena.
Yeah, it's not your
type demo
average
derby.
junkyard, you know, just get it done, try to keep it running thing. These guys are building some hot rods.
That baby's got great throttle response, great torque off the corner. I mean, that thing almost sounds like a late model motor in that thing.
And you mentioned it one time before, you can see these guys bouncing a lot inside of the cars. Not a whole lot of suspension left here.
Yeah, I don't understand exactly why that is. However, they obviously know more about it than I do, but they are locked solid. I mean, the coil springs and the shocks and everything on them, for all intents and purposes, have been welded up.
It has to deliver a harder blow. I mean, imagine if you still had shocks and springs that were active, you hit somebody, your car is going to give a little bit, so you want to deliver a hard hit. You lock them down, and the checkered flag will wave here, and how about that? 2 times in a row, the Junkyard Dogs have defeated the defending champions from a year ago. No doubt, these guys are on a mission. They have a lot of traction, and they're hoping they can make it 2 wins in a row. Come on back.
Going back to Joliet, Illinois for some more exciting Team Demolition Derby action on the track and in the back of a police car. Let's face it, if your name is Stranglehold, shouldn't you get a hold on this competition? But Stranglehold out. Junkyard Dogs moving on.
All right, let's find out who's going to meet the Junkyard Dogs in the finals. Will it be Beyond Driven or Havoc? Beyond Driven, certainly one of those teams that has what it takes to get there. Havoc's going to have to step up the pace. They're going to hang with the red cars. Oh, and we've got one down and out already. John Clement not running.
I tell you what, when you start off with 25% of your team not running at all, that's a tough way to get things started off. It just looks like everybody's driving around aimlessly.
Joe Snow just sitting there. His car isn't running, so it really looks like Beyond Driven, for some reason, is struggling here in this semifinal round.
And I got to tell you, we mentioned it before, Ken Stout, that these guys will bring a dozen race cars to the track. That's why most of them have towing companies emblazoned on their quarter panels. That's what it takes to get them there. But Team Pink and the Havoc gang look real smart here with Steve Gursky out to the early lead here.
Joe Snow finally did get his car going and probably ran it into the wall. There's the 2 car and the 41 going at it. The 43, of course, over there driven by Steve Gursky Jr. You mentioned that before, as Team Havoc now trying to continue on and earn some more laps. Beyond Driven.
I believe Beyond Driven ran out of 2s.
Oh,
it looks
nice job right there.
It looks like there's 2 number 2 cars, and I'd have to say that the
I thought he missed him completely, but he must have got a little bit of him.
He got him, but he hit on him that wall.
He got a lot more of that wall than he did the back of that car, I can tell you that.
I love it.
Around he goes.
I love it. Still rolling, though. Is Steve Gursky Jr. TNR Tony, you see on the back, I mean, like I said, you got to get a dozen of them. Now,
he's trying to dodge him. Obviously a runner right there. He doesn't want to hit him if he can keep from it.
And I got to think, once again, there are 2 number 2s out there. You got to watch because one of them has got to be Joe Snow, and he generally drives a 22 car. But
Steve Gursky's car trying to hang on.
It's like he's out of steam.
Well, it's something. It's just not happy, whatever it is. He's like, come on, baby, go. Look at that left rear. It's digging.
I think it's hanging up on the quarter panel.
I know it can. I know it can.
Oh, here comes the 2.
He's going to
crash him. Oh, he thought he's going to
get away. He was playing cat and mouse.
He was fishing on him. He was laying low for him, man. That's exactly what he was doing. He baited him up.
Teammates trying to block for him a little bit. There's Joe Snow, the 22.
There he is. He made a comeback.
Oh, and how about that? Gursky finally gets a hit. Joe Snow was able to slow him up just enough. And then the 29 comes barreling in there and hammers the side of Gursky's car. And now here comes Beyond Driven coming back, believe it or not.
I believe they're going to come back and win this race.
That is unbelievable. It looked like Havoc had it locked up. And then a surprise winner at the very end as they get the cars running again, and it goes back to Beyond Driven. Let's talk to the winning team.
How about that?
I believe they pulled an extra card on the racetrack before the race was over, and that's against the rules, so that's under disqualification, I believe. I'm not sure. I wasn't part of the discussion. The gentleman right over here, his name is Rich Wilson. He can tell you all about it.
Well, so how about that? It did not go to Beyond Driven. It goes back to Team Havoc. This On the Edge telecast has been brought to you by Lucas Oil Products. Made in America, sold to the world. Herculiner Truck Bedliners. When the tough come easy. And by General Tire. It's all about that final round of eliminations, and the Junkyard Dogs and Team Havoc had made it there here at the Team Demolition Battle. And we should tell you that Team Havoc, typically in pink, has bought a car from the Killer Bees, so that black and red number 40 is part of the Team Havoc.
On board with Johnny Ryan now. Watch Team Havoc. Oh, great deal right there. That 44 Rich Wilson puts a hammer job on the big Kahuna Vanderbilt, who generally is the runner for Junkyard Dog.
The Junkyard Dogs have been possessed, a team possessed here this year. But how about Team Havoc? Oh, man, there's a nice head-on hit. Team Havoc has finished in second place a couple of times, including last year, so they're fighting hard. They want to win that championship.
Rob McKay out front here in the 03. He is the runner as the 47 and 33 make contact right there. That is Jason Rotten and Ryan Bluer. Now you can see that 36 car going backwards. That's a Brickman Lewis. But right there, it's all about Rob McKay. Oh, they're going to crush that.
Oops!
Oh, my gosh.
That wall's pretty solid. Good thing. Imagine sitting here looking at this. I'm done.
Oh, man. Watch that hand of that 36. He's all the way to the deck. Oh.
He was driving through the ball.
Oh,
Excellent
man.
stuff, man. That's what the fans come out here to watch.
Oh, here we go.
7,000 strong. Oh, man, and Jason Rotten gets hit again.
Tom Lewis strikes him one more time, and I mean, he crushes him. At least he's got a couple of neck collards on, and there is Rob McKay. He is your runner, and I do believe he is your leader.
Throwing him a fist right there. But man, if I could reach outside of this car, I'd hit
Trying to
you.
get with your
Whoops.
fanny here.
Another one into the wall, man. They're testing the wall out here tonight.
He's got the checkered right there, Rob McKay.
How about that? The Junkyard Dogs make it 2 in a row. And you can see the emotion, man.
Yeah.
These guys work hard. They do work hard on these
That
cars.
baby
too.
is overheated as well, man.
Let's talk to the winner.
This trophy means so much. My nephew just passed away last week on my birthday, and he was our biggest fan, and this race is for him. That was our drive for tonight, and no one was stopping us. I can't even explain it right now.
Well, they definitely got some help from the little guy above. Congratulations to the Junkyard Dogs. Hey, make sure you follow the Terry's RV and the OTE crew. Find out where they're going next time. Just log on to newwavetv.com. For Brian Olson, I'm Ken Stout. Remember, you're not living unless you're on the edge.